Hey there. I'll be ready in just a minute. Just trying to get all my things together for you because I have a lot to show you today. Today is June the 7th, 2020. I just have a lot of things I want to go over, and then class can begin. I'll let a few people hop on here if I've got anybody. If I don't have anyone, they can join me later when it replays on Facebook or YouTube. Yeah, let me get everything together here. Make sure I mute. There we go. Everything's ready to go. I'm set up, ready. Give everyone a few minutes. I've got a lot to show you today. And I'm hoping I don't get a phone call in the middle of this. I got a phone call in the middle of a recording I was trying to do, and I kept on going because I didn't think it would be a big deal, and it was. It rang throughout the whole thing. Even though I muted it, it still rang throughout the whole video I made, so I had to trash that video and do another one. Let me just go ahead and dive on in. I don't know if you have received your catalog yet, but this is the new catalog, and I was real excited to get it, and I have gotten a few spiral bound, and I have been selling those spiral bounds for $5, but if you're on my team, you get one, and if you are on my team, you should have received one already from Stampin' Up, directly from Stampin' Up. I did have my customers' catalogs sent out already, and I'm hoping that you all have received those too. I've heard from almost every one of you that either yes, you've gotten your catalog, or no, you haven't, but let's just hope you have it in your hands because I love it. I haven't dog-eared any pages, but I have gone through and highlighted what I have. And I have a big wish list over here on the right. And I don't have everything like I want. But who knows, by the end of the year, catalog year, I may have it all. But let me go ahead and dig in. I want to start by telling you what I was most excited about with this catalog, and that is the new in colors. Every year Stampin' Up introduces new colors, and I fall in love with them, and then I'm really sad to see them go. But if you have a catalog in hand, go to page 142 and 143. It is all our colors all on one spread. And you can find any color you want. The Brights collection, the Neutrals collection, and right over here in the corner all together, you have your In Colors collection. And hold on a second, I've got a text message. Somebody's looking for me. Let's see, business page today. Great. Okay. All right, let me put that away. Okay. In colors. Now, what I'm really excited about is because they're temporary, but they last for 2 years. These colors will go away in 2020. But until then, we get to enjoy them, and there's such a great selection of colors. Let me show you what I've made with them. Of course, that was the first thing I ordered. We have Magenta Madness, Bumblebee, Just Jade, Misty Moonlight, and Cinnamon Cider. Now, I do not have the ink yet, because it was on the other order. It has not come in yet. But I used Versamark, because Versamark is like a watermark. And you can stamp with that, and it looks like I have that ink. So I've made all these cards just to show you how vibrant they are. I just love them. They'll go with anything, especially the monochromatic. If you do a black and white and then do a pop of color, any one of these colors will just pop on black and white or gray and white. Let me show you the card stack that comes with this. You get 48 sheets of this. Hey, JJ. You get 48 sheets of this, and it's you get 4 sheets double-sided, and in every color. You have writing and dots, and then on the other side you have, to me it looks like jeans. That looks like a pair of jeans right there. And then you have wood grain. But aren't those colors just yummy? Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, another thing I want to show you is turn the page to 144. And then this is where you have all the things that come in the colors. But now, don't get discouraged in looking for your in colors and not finding them, because they have showcased the brights on this. And it has brights in your 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Brights. But if you come on down, if you look closely, it has a red N. And on the red N means new. And there's your number to get an assortment of the in colors here. Also, one thing I wanted to point out to you, if you are a happy shopper, and that means you're a demonstrator, or you're on my team, same thing, you can get your color families. There's a number here to get the whole lot of the color families. Now, your in colors, here's your number. And for $33.75, you can get all 5 of the new in colors, and that's 10% off. And that's for anyone. That's for a customer or a team member. But if you're a team member, a happy shopper, you can get these at 30% off because you have 20% off already. So 30% off is a good deal. Who doesn't love a good sale? Hey, Lynn, glad you could be here today. I'm just going over a few things in the catalog. I'm hoping, I think you do have your catalog. I know JJ has hers. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is the bundles on page 168. Go to page 168. Right here. We have some cute bundles with punches. And I just recently got a couple of bundles in. And I'm looking for them because I was going to show you those. Here we go. Here's some bundles I've gotten. This is the Jar of Flowers with the Jar of Flowers punch. And, oh, you can see me, hey! And this is a card that I received in a swap. Cindy made this card, and it is just gorgeous. I just love it. And in the Jar of Flowers, you have 4 different seasons, because it also coordinates with the Flowers for Every Season suite. And if you look in the front of the catalog, you see all our suites. And you can get the whole shebang if you order the suite by the suite number. But the reason why I'm showing you these bundles is because right now Stampin' Up! Has a deal where you can sign up to be a happy shopper, join my team, and you get a free bundle. This is the Celebrate Sunflowers. And here's the dies, and here's the stamp set, and then here's just a couple of cards made with that. This is watercolored, and then this is the dies used to make this card. Both of these bundles come in that Flowers for Every Season suite.
So let me put those away. Okay, the next thing I wanted to show you is, or tell you about, you do the Happy Shopper deal. It's $99 for $125 in product. And then in June, you get a free bundle. And that's one of 34 bundles. So that includes the bundles on page 168 and 169. And then the bundles that start on 173. 174, 175, 176, 177, 178, 179. That's 26 different bundles here with the dies, and 6 more bundles, 6 or 7 more bundles with the punch. Right here, I think it's 7 more bundles, 8 more bundles with the punch. There's a punch too. Okay. Now I have one more topic to talk to you about, and that is this yummy machine here. There is good news, and there's not so good news. Good news is we do have a new option, a big one and a mini one, but it is not available right now, and it will become available for pre-order sometime during this catalog time period. We're not sure, but I keep everyone up to date on my blog. I like to keep my blog up and going. I have posts, not every day, but quite often during the week. I may do 4 posts a week, and I'll put news like this on my group page, my notes from patients page, or I'll also put it on my blog so you can keep up with the news that Stampin' Up! Has. Okay, one more thing I want to show you. Back on page 154, and this is just really fun. These are your Memories and More cards, and I've made a few albums with them, but right now I'm into making cards with my Memories and More cards, and because they're so easy. Let me show you these cards that I have made. This is the Flowers for Every Season Memories and More card pack, and I have made all these cards. This one is the same card, just 2 different designs. I just love the way that looks. Now there is no stamping on this. These are quick and easy cards, and because sometimes you just don't have time to get your inks and stuff out. So I just love the way these turn out. Now this is a Christmas card. Different take on the Christmas traditional colors. But I still have quite a few things left over. You get small cards with that. You have some sticker packs with that. And then larger cards. And all the cards are double-sided. And you can just mix and match with that. And so I really love that. It's called Flowers for Every Season. And there's also these pre-cut card bases. And if you are in a hurry and you need a card base, you can take this card front and get a smaller. Let's see if I can just make one. Yes, look here. And then maybe put another color behind that. But there you have a card already. And so these Memories and More cards, bases, and envelopes, you know, are a really good investment if you need to make some quick cards. And these are larger. These are larger than 4x6, so they're pretty good size. Okay, now, as I was telling you about that, I remembered one more thing I wanted to talk to you about, and that is the paper on page 148. This year we have lots of variety of paper, and I love how they look here on the page. Sometimes they're just not big enough for me to see, and so I made my cheat sheet that shows me every front and back of every one of these, as well as the coordinating colors. And I have offered this out to make these, or to get you the supplies to make your own if you want those. You can contact me about that later if you're interested. but I also do the in colors. But one thing I wanted to show you is the flowers for every season. This particular set of paper has every single in color in it. In fact, all of the sets have at least one in color, and that's the new in color this year. The Artistry Blooms, I can't wait to get that set of paper in because it has every single in color in it. So I'm going to have a variety of different cards that I can make. So let's get on with the Seaside Notions class. On page 36 is our stamp set. Seaside Notions. I wanted to do this because we're into summer, people going to the beach, trying to get to the beach and having, you know, that family vacation. It's also on the same page as the Timeless Tropical. Let me plug my phone in. I'm getting ready to lose my battery. Sorry, I'm shaking. There we go. Anyway, let's get started. If you got a packet from me, you should have everything to make these cards. Everything in your packet to make these 4 cards. And a instruction sheet on how to make those. Here's the PDF. Now, I printed it out. I didn't email it to you, but it is emailable. And if you're interested in getting this email, just let me know. I can send it out in an email. Now, in conjunction with this class, I also used the Stitched So Sweetly dies to cut out this particular piece of paper and to cut out this one. So let's just get started. We're going to start with Here's to You card. And you have your terracotta tile card base. Get this out. Here we go. I've already got it cut for you. And just get my bone folder. Make sure it's folded really well. Now, the first thing we're going to do is stamp. Now, you should have gotten paper for the front cover and for the inside. You should have gotten a cut die. And I also provided these for you. These are small, but I provided a couple of them so that you could stamp on it, and if you made a mistake, you can turn it over and stamp again. So let's just get started. So I normally stamp first. That way, all my stamping is done. So let me get a few things. You're also going to fussy cut, so you've got an extra paper here to fussy cut. No, we're not fussy cutting on this one. We will be fussy cutting on another stamp set. So we're going to be using this stamp and the Here's to You with our terracotta tile ink. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Get my supplies over here. Okay, open the terracotta tile. I'm going to try to stamp this little Here's to You first. Let's get that little thing out of the way. Oh yeah, this is the stamp set that I put the label on upside down. So it's a good thing I tested it out, but then I could have just turned it over. But if I'd been stamping directly onto a card, that would have not been good. I would have messed up that whole sheet of paper. But this is a small sheet of paper. Let's see if I can get that. Oh, I don't know if I can get it without standing up and hovering over it. Hope I'm not in the camera. Let's see how that turned out. Here's to You. I think that'll be pretty good, even though it's over to the right, because if I don't like it, I can stamp it, turn it over. I did provide you some extras, so I hope you don't need them. The stamping is not perfect. Let's see. Usually, I'll stamp and then punch it out, and that is really the way you should do it, but that looks good. And the punch that I use for this is the classic label punch. Okay, so I'm happy with that one, so I'm going to keep it. Alright, now I'm going to get my stitched shape, and I can tell this is the front because the stitches go down. And I'm going to get my shell. My shell. I'm going to center that as best I can. There we go. I'm going to put that to the side. Now, there is no science as how I got this on here. I just literally stamped. It's not asymmetrical. I think I might have been going for asymmetrical on that, but nobody's perfect, so it's not perfect, but I do like it. Okay, Lynn, I see you do have your catalog. Hey, Kathy's with JJ. I didn't know that. Hey, Kathy. Okay, so I'm just going to start stamping just across the page. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. Let's see. Going to kind of offset here. Maybe get the front of the shell on this side. I appreciate you guys shopping my BOGO sale. I was able to unload a lot of retired product. And also that awarded you guys some new product out of the new catalog. So I really appreciate that. Okay. I'm thinking that's going to be enough. So there you go. It's not perfect, but it looks like paper. It looks like I have cut a sheet of paper that had shells across it. So I just made a background stamp. Okay. Now, in your package, you also received some squares. These squares are different. These are the same squares, but different measurements here. So, let's see. I'm going to make sure I've got the right one. I've got, looks like 2 inches. I don't have a ruler. Here we go. Let's see. So, it is 2 inches by 2 1/4. So you're going to want to put your short 2 inches here, 2 1/4 down. And I literally just snailed it straight down to it. I didn't pop it up or anything. Get my snail. One thing I was going to tell you, snail is an adhesive that Stampin' Up! Uses, but it has gone away. Oh, I think I'm stuck. I hope my computer doesn't stay stuck like that. Okay. So I'm going to put this, I was talking about the adhesive. We have a new adhesive called Stampin' Seal. And it's supposed to be better than snail. And then we also have Stampin' Seal Plus. It is available. It's in the catalog. I do have a post on my Facebook because the number... there was something with the ordering on the numbers of that, but I think they've gotten it fixed. But if you do not have any, it is good stuff. You need to get some. I can't wait for mine to come in. Okay, I also have twine in your packet, and one is shorter than the other. And so we're going to take our longer piece. Let's see, that longer piece is about 18 inches long. So you're going to take your die cut that you stamped your shell on, and you're going to put a little bit of snail on the back, and take your long piece. I get the right piece here. Okay, and then just adhere one end to it, and then we're going to just wrap it around. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't matter if it's all lined up. So many lines of it. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm also going to use my mini glue dots, which I have somewhere. Here we go. My mini glue dots. And, oh, where is my take a pick tool? Is one of my friends likes to call it a picker. She wants a picker. Okay, so I'm going to get a glue dot off of here, and I'm going to put it right on top of the the twine that I just wrapped around. You can see that. Then I'm going to take the smaller piece of twine that I gave you and just roll it around my fat finger. And I am going to cut this off because I don't really want it to be jagged out there. And then I'm going to stick all of this to that dot. You can manipulate it and make it look messy if you want. I don't want mine to get too messy because then it may just start coming off. Then I'm going to take my dimensionals and I'm going to pop that up. I don't have any new dimensionals out here with me. Here we go. Now I'm ready. So I'm just going to pop this up. So we can get that right there. Don't need too many. Just going to pop that up. Now, my here's to you little saying. I am just going to put a glue dot on the end of this. But before I put that down, I'm going to take my bone folder. I'm just going to curl the paper. That way it pops up. It's not going to be flat to my card. Okay, and so now it's time to put this on the front. I know I haven't finished stamping everything, but I'm just so excited to put it together. So then you'll just center it on your card base. There we go. Now let's make the inside of this card. The only thing I have on the inside is the shell. Okay. Now I know I am getting ready to send this card out. In fact, both of these cards are going in the mail tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and do my envelope. So for my envelope, I'm going to put a shell on it, of course. I always have to dress up my envelopes. No naked envelopes. All right. So I have many thank you cards going out, and so here's to you. It's going to be a thank you card for me tomorrow. So if you get this thank you card in the mail, you know I had just made it. Okay, so ready for the next card. Let's see what's on our instruction sheet. Okay, oh, I like this one. Okay, this one is this card. There's a lot of different colors in here and some fussy cutting, and it's also made with very vanilla cardstock instead of Whisper White. My go-to is Whisper White. I go through a lot more Whisper White than I do very vanilla, but for this one I wanted to do very vanilla. And you should have all the elements. We're going to stamp on this frilly design. I used a die cut from Stitched So Sweetly to make that card front, my layer. Okay, so we're going to stamp on this, and then you should get a piece of paper. You should have extra. You're going to need this because we're going to stamp on this and fussy cut, because the front shell is actually fussy cut. And the shell on the inside is actually fussy cut. Now you can do that, or you can just stamp it straight on. But we're going to need these 3 sheets to stamp on. So let's get our stamping first. I used the seahorse I actually stamped him first in Coastal Cabana. So let's get him stamped on there because he's actually the main focal point. Even though this shell is popped up, he's the focal point because he's the same color as the card. So I did that on purpose so that you could see the colors. And I think all these colors really blend together really well. Okay, so I'm just going to put him right there. Okay, and then the next I'm going to use, I think I used Calypso Coral instead of Terracotta Tile, but you could use either one of those inks. Any dark ink if you don't have these particular inks, even Cajun Craze or red. Red is a coral color, so just stamp that off the stamping area here. Okay, and then now I'm going to do the sand, and the sand is crumb cake. Let me grab that ink. And then let's see, yeah. Let's see, I want some more there. Let's get some sand up here by the seahorse. There we go. Okay, so we're done with this for right now. So just put it over to the side. So let's do the inside of the card. So I believe this is a birthday card. I've got some birthday cards to go out too. So let me get my happy birthday. And I'm stamping this in Coastal Cabana. Now I don't know if y'all have done this before, but you could put your sentiment way up there if you've got a whole lot to write. But I don't know who this birthday card's going to go to, so I may not want to write a whole lot, so I move it down. So that's just the way I do it. Okay, we're going to need some sand on here. So let's just get our crumb cake sand. And I think that's probably enough sand. Okay, so I'm going to put that off to the side. So now, with that third piece of paper, your scrap, I went ahead and gave you a full sheet there. Scrap, we're going to stamp our shells. Let me get the other small shell. Okay, I had terracotta tile on that, so let me grab something and clean this stamp right quick so that I don't get terracotta tile on there. I can't lay my hand on the chamois, but I have a baby wipe here, so I'll find my chamois. It's probably on the other side of the disc. Okay, so since I'm making 2, you should have enough in your package to make 2 cards. I'm going to go ahead and stamp 2 because we will fussy cut, for both cards that you had in your pack. So, all right. Now, I like to fussy cut. I know some people do not. Put this aside for something later. But for me, fussy cutting, it's just no-brainer. I don't cut real close to the lines. And I don't move my scissors. I actually move my paper. And I take my time. Sometimes I'll get in a hurry and get that out of my way. Now, I always leave a little halo out there because it's not perfect. And sometimes I don't leave a halo. Sometimes I get real close. But it's not perfect. It's handmade. Okay. That looks good enough for me. I'm going to grab one of these little shells. And do the same thing. So, I don't know about y'all's weather. I know here in Arkansas,
We have got a tropical disturbance that's coming up. Oh, I know it's going to hit Lynn down in Louisiana before it hits me. So, don't like that. All right, let's start putting the card together that have all the elements to put together here. Oh, let me show you one thing before we're going to put this on. And this is real easy to put on. Let me show you how I did it. Let's see, you should have gotten 2 pieces. So what you're going to do is go ahead and fray the ends of this, because I'm going to show you what I did, how I put this together. I don't know if I gave you a real long piece or not, but you can fray the ends however long you want. This one's already frayed a little bit. Let me cut that off. Here we go. Ooh-wee. Catalog question. Go ahead and ask me a catalog question. I'll try to answer you, Kathy. Let's see. Here we go. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put this on the card right now. I'm going to go ahead and tie my knot. So go ahead and tie your knot. I'm like, how am I going to put that on the card? Well, then you take this, take your scissors, and cut that. Because what you're going to do is make sure your knot's tight. You're going to put this on your card, but you're going to cheat. You're either going to put snail on the back of this, or what I did is I actually put a dot on the ends. And then I laid it around on my card. Let's see. Like this. Okay, a hinge step. The hinge step, let's see. I think that's associated with one of the stamp sets. I don't know what page it is. There we go. This is my frayed ends. Let me get this. The hinge step has to deal with the stamparatus. And the stamparatus is one of the nice tools that Stampin' Up! Sells. Now, to put this on our card front, I used dots. I didn't want the dimensionals to raise it up too much because my shell's already raised up. So, dots can do the same thing and hold sometimes better than the snail holds. So, just going to put dots on this. I'll grab my stamparatus and I'll show you what that hinge step is. I think it's with that set that has some bottles on it. Okay, put that there. Now I'm going to take the dimensionals and raise that shell up. I think 2 dimensionals will be enough. Okay, now I'm ready to put the inside in. Okay, and now I didn't raise this up. I just used a dot and stuck it on there. Now you could stamp it on here, but I wanted that feel of it being fussy cut. But you could have stamped it just sitting right on top. I believe this one is just sitting in the sand a little more, and I just put that one on top. Just depends on who I'm going to write to, how much I'm going to write. Okay, that's our birthday card. Let me grab my stamparatus and I'll show you that hinge step. I have used my stamparatus when I'm making multiple cards. Let's see here. Let me grab this. Here we go. Only going to need 1 plate.
Now the first card we made, if I wanted these to be uniform, I would have used the hinge stamp on that. I'll show you what I mean. But let me grab this extra paper. I'm going to take this and say we want to put this, oh, not like that. See, we want to put this right here. Let me put that down. It's got ink on it. I don't want to mess it up yet. Okay. So the hinge step goes like this. Got my paper where I need it. And I'm going to ink up my shell. And I'm going to stamp that. And then I'm going to pick this up off the hinges and move it down one. That is called your hinge step. And so you just keep doing that, and you go all the way down, and you know for a fact that your shells are perfectly lined up. I don't know if the shell is the best demonstration for that. Oop, I didn't move that. Was it in the way? Oh well, just demonstrating. And that's what a hinge step is. This is perfect if you want to do a saying. This is happy birthday and like happy birthday all the way down. So that is your hinge step. Okay, let's get back to our cards. Okay, we've done 2 cards. This one and this one. So now let's see what's next. Okay, I'm going by the instructions. I never do that. Okay, now this next card is also done with, ooh, where is it? Whisper White. And there's nothing that goes with the card. It's completely stamping. This is one of the first times I've done this. I always like to use embellishments and stuff, but this is one of the first classes that I've used nothing but stamping. So we're doing stamping to create our look here. Let me clean a couple of these stamps because I'm not sure what color we have for everything. Still don't know where my chamois is. Okay, where's my seahorse? Here he is. Okay. Okay, now you can use whatever colors you want for your images. I'm just going to make it like I have on my example card, which I am looking for. Here we go. So I'm going to put my With Gratitude on here first, because that'll dictate where I put everything else. Okay. Now, you don't have to put With Gratitude here. You could put it on the inside if you just want to really stamp up the front. I'm going to use crumb cake on my seahorse. I'm going to put him in the center of my card. And then I'm going to use the coral, and I'm going to use terracotta tile with that one. Put some back here. And some up front. Alright, and then I've got the small shell. I didn't even use the big one on this. And I'm making it in the Coastal Cabana. Alright. Now, I really had fun with this. I know I'm going to need something to clean this stamp, but I want to contaminate my stamp pads. But I used every color. And I'm going to start with the crumb cake and just put a little here. Okay. Then I'm going to use the Calypso Coral. Actually, yeah, Calypso Coral is what I use. Okay. And let's just dot it there. It just adds a little bit of color, and I really like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use the Coastal Cabana and add a little more greenish blue in there. Okay, And that's all I'm doing for that. Let's see, did I do anything inside? Oh yeah, I did the same thing. So, I did use the big shell. I used it on the inside. So, let's go ahead and do our sand again because I laid those shells on top. Okay. Kathy, you could probably use about anything if you wanted to do a row of flowers. You know, make your own little border. That's what the Stamparatus does. And if you're making like multiple cards, it really helps because you got your stamp in the same place on the card. And one thing I liked about the Stamparatus, let me show you right quick. So not only can you have a stamp here, it comes with another plate. And you could have a stamp here. So you stamp what you want here. You could stamp your sentiment right here. You could pick it up and turn it around and have more stamps on this side. And same thing over here. So you could use quite a few images to stamp that, make that card. Okay, there we go. So I really like that. Okay, then I'm going to use blue for my shells. And I'm just laying those kind of on top. So this was one of the easiest cards to make because I am not doing any layers, I'm just simply stamping. So this is your simple card of the group. Now we're ready for our last card, which is a Thinking of You, and it's a monochromatic. I like that. I didn't want it to be too busy. So you should have all the pieces in there. And I did fussy cut that shell. So I am going to use the one that I stamped earlier to fussy cut. So let's go ahead and stamp our Thinking of You. I did that in crumb cake. Let me see if I can get that. Get my card base. Did I stamp anything inside? I did. I did the sand and the coral, but I did it all in one color. So let me go ahead and shut these. I don't want to accidentally do that. All right, so I'm going to stamp my sentiment first. Thinking of You. All right. Now, let me find the squares. That there, and that there, and then I'm going to fussy cut this and put it on top. So this is a fairly easy card to assemble. And if you don't have the Seaside Notion stamp set, any stamp set will work that the images will fit in the pieces that you've been sent. But I have made several stamps or several cards with the stamp set because I really like it. I like the colors you can put with it, the pastel beachy colors. If I can lay my hands on it, I'll show you another card that I made with it. I've made several cards with this stamp set. All right, let me adhere this down before I put that on there. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. Here's the front. I'm going to take the other. Let's do the inside. I believe we have sand. Grab this. I don't want blue sand on my monochromatic card. Hey, Dina Lloyd, you're just watching. I'm so glad you are. Dina and I crafted for almost 4 hours on the phone the other night. She was at her place, and I was at my place. And we just talked and caught up, and I think I ended up making about 5 or 6 cards, and Dina made 2, maybe 3. How many cards did you make, Dina? I just have to get tickled. Dina is not as much a perfectionist as she used to be. But she enjoys it, I think, just as much as I do. Okay, so that's the inside of my card. And how easy was that? This stamp set is just so much fun. Oops, I've already got the inside on that one. Let's see. Is it dimensional? That's not going to work. There we go. There we go. So now we have successfully made, I have made 4 cards. I know you have the supplies to make 8 cards. But now I have lots of cards to put out. I will be sending some of these out in the mail. Let me grab this card that I've made before. This has lots of layers on it. And it's got some pearls, and I use the linen thread. Love the linen thread. And even used my, that's what I used to color these, was my blends, the lighter colors. So I stamped it all with crumb cake, and then I used my blends. And I've even done this and have put happy birthday there. So you could really change this up and do whatever you want. But that's all I have today. If y'all have any questions, just put them down in the bottom, and I'll try to get back with you on that. I really appreciate it. If you did not have a chance to purchase this card class, you can still purchase this card class, and I will send it to you, and I will put the information down in the comments. But you will get this, I can send this PDF for you, or I can actually send it to you with your card supplies. But it's a card recipe for every card, and then it also tells you what I used to make these cards. And if you do not have a demonstrator, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And don't forget that the month of June, if you become a happy shopper, I'm a happy shopper, there is no obligation to have classes. There's no obligation to do that at all. I first started buying it to finish my scrapbooks, and I did that, and I've always got something new I want to do, but I went all in, and I love it because I like to be with people. And now, since we are in this COVID situation, I'm doing it online. So I will get back to my July class. Will be in person, and but it will also be live, because I will have someone there who's going to help me out, and she's actually going to video the demonstration as I demonstrate it to the live class that I have. So that's what I'm going to be doing for July, and I'll have that announced on my website or on my blog, as well as my Facebook page. So I really appreciate you guys being here today. And like I said, if you need some craft supplies, you have any questions like that hinge step, Kathy, I'm so glad you asked that. Just let me know, and I'll try to answer your questions. And y'all have a great day and a great Sunday.